watch it. Put phones on you and everything else, so they can check on you. Anyway, the preacher there in Jericho, he got up and he said, Brother Jesse Buell is supposed to be preaching for us here tonight, and I don't think I've ever met him. I figure he's in this crowd of preachers right here somewhere. And he said, would it happen to be you? And I said, yes, that's me. He said, and that boy there sitting there with you, talking about him. He said, that boy sitting there with you, said, is that your son? Well, Murphy's older than Dirk. And on the way back home from church, we started coming up on a McDonald's place. See? And all them preachers in there talking about church and stuff, And smart aleck here, he has to speak up. He says, Daddy, could we stop at McDonald's and get an ice cream? I come here not letting him come with me up here. Hello. How many got their gun with them? Yeah. Okay. Now turn to Luke chapter 11. Luke chapter 11. I'll tell you what I want to preach about, and then even if I don't get to the sermon, you say, well, I did know what he was going to talk about, even though he didn't do that. I'm going to talk about how important, and I have learned this more and more the older I get. I am going to talk to you about how important it is to be able to pray. Now, I don't mean say words. I mean pray. Amen. When Adam and Eve messed up, and God put the cherubim in front of the gate and they couldn't get in, if you read the last verse of Genesis chapter 4, God left one way so that people could get to him, and that was on prayer. You could not get into the gate, the cherubim would stop you, so forth, but you still have the privilege of getting to God through prayer. See? Now there are people who are his children but don't know how to get a hold of it. I watch children grow up in a family and they don't know what pleases daddy. And they don't know what pleases mommy. And the first thing you know, they're rebels and gone out. Now I watch Christians pull the same thing with God. If you don't get to know your Heavenly Father and get so that you can talk to him, because there are things you are never going to be able to solve unless you get God's help to come to you. It's like getting saved. Now you can join church and let them baptize you and quote scripture and do all that kind of stuff. But if you don't get God in on you being saved, then you're in a lot of trouble. You won't ever get saved. No matter what the preacher does for you, no matter what church does for you, no matter what kind of funeral you have, if you don't get God to come and be with you, you will not go to heaven when you die. And I love these words. Whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. Amen. That's simple, but it's very important. Now turn to Luke chapter 11. I won't get through this, but that's the point anyway. Praying in the Bible. Praying in the Bible. Some people don't know one prayer from another. Some people don't see in the Bible, some people don't know a test from a temptation or a trial. They don't know which one they're facing. That's why they get defeated as Christians, because they don't know one from another. See, sometimes the person is being tempted. If they are, you need to find out, what do I do if I'm being tempted? maybe you're going through a test. And you say, well, maybe I'm being tested. Because you will be tested. God will test. He tests everybody. He said, Abraham, fix to give you a test. What's it all about, Lord? You know that boy that you love so much that I gave you? I want you to take him up on the mountain and sacrifice. See? Now that was a test. Test. And you can read through the Bible and read to Moses and come right on through the Bible, right on through the Bible, right on into the disciples and everything else. Everybody who lives a Christian life, God will give them a test. It's like you're in the 3rd grade, and if you ever expect to get to the 4th grade, you got to pass the test. I say Christians who are still, they've been saved for 20 years, and they're still in the 2nd grade. See, they don't know what a 3rd, 4th grade Christian is. See, they failed every test they've been to. And I'll tell you this now, because I'm reading the Bible, this is true. When you get baptized, if you get saved, and then when you get baptized, within a very short time, right after you get baptized, the devil says, I'll get you now. And most all Christians completely fail when the devil comes with that first temptation to them after they get saved. He usually destroys their whole testimony from then on. And they sat in church wondering what the preacher's talking about. Now, if you look at the life of Jesus, he's giving you that story. You remember when Jesus got baptized? Remember Jesus got baptized? Now, the next scripture right after that says, and the Holy Spirit led him into the wilderness where he was tempted. That's not a good word in the King James, because you couldn't tempt Jesus. Yet Jesus had no sin in him. So you cannot tempt. Tempt means try to get you to do sin. Now he couldn't appeal to sin in Jesus, but he knew Jesus had not eaten for 40 days. So he appealed to him on, why don't you turn these stones into bread? See, and if he did that, he'd be out of the will of God. Not that he'd done the big sin, because he couldn't appeal for any sin. But if he could get Jesus to disobey God, that's what he tried. Now, he tries the same thing on you, and most Christians fail the test, and from then on, they go through Christian life complaining or something because they've not become any kind of a successful Christian. Now, I want you to take Luke chapter 11, and I want you to listen carefully tonight, because this may be the most important sermon you've heard since you joined the church. And he does give people a second chance. Now, he may not you, but he does give people a second chance who have failed. Time and again, just like old Peter. Peter said, I don't know him. I'm not one of his disciples. I don't know him. Peter went to the preachers and said, I'm going back fishing. And the 6 more preachers said, if you go fishing, we're going with you. And so they went. And Jesus came that night. Early in the morning, they saw him walking on the seashore. And they heard a voice saying, little children, have you caught anything? And John knew that voice. And he said, Peter, we've been caught again fishing when we should have been doing something else. We're caught again. And Jesus started over to the shore and started talking about how much do you love me? How much do you love me? How much do you love me? And he gave them another chance. Now tonight, you may be a flop as a Christian. Most Christians that I know are a flop. They're nothing to brag on when it comes to Christian life. They don't have it down. They just sleep through sermons and everything and think, well, that makes me very religious, because anybody who can sleep through Jesse Buell's sermon, they need a lot of bragging on them to be able to sit through one of his sermons the way he goes and hollers and goes on and everything. Now I want you to listen, because these people here are trying to learn how to live a Christian life, okay? Now listen what happens in Luke chapter 11. If you don't have your Bible, when you get home, you can read it. Here's what it says. And it came to pass that as he was praying in a certain place, when he ceased, one of his disciples said unto him, now listen, Lord, teach us to pray, as John also taught his disciples. Would you have liked to hear Jesus pray? Amen. Did you hear this young fella here pray? Now, he didn't sound like most of us. Most of us pray something like this. Lord, would you bless me and my wife? And John and his wife, excuse me, John, you're here. John and his wife. Us four, no more. Amen. Now that's the way we pray. And it just goes on. We repeat. My kids, when they grow up, we sit down at the meal, and sometimes they would say, Daddy, I'll pray. Daddy, I'll pray. I'll never forget my baby daughter praying. She got to the place where she thought, I can pray. And so she said, Daddy, I'll pray. I said, okay, let me just go ahead. You know, usually they pray something, you know, then I would say a little prayer after that, and we'd eat a meal. See, Tammy bowed her head, and she said, God is great. Amen. And I thought, well, we didn't even bless the food, but I still think that's probably a better prayer than any of we could pray. Amen. Would you like to hear Jesus pray? Yeah. The disciples, that's what this verse says. The disciples, they heard Jesus pray. And they said, Lord, would you teach us to pray? Not how to pray. You got to read Scripture, Terry. Everybody knows how to pray. You let a drunk